In my teens and early 20s, I was shy, anxious, weak, and I didn't really see the point in life. And I also felt like I was going to be stuck that way forever, and there was no hope for me to live a normal life or a happy life. But now, after finding Stoicism and practicing it for 10 years, I am happy. I am successful personally, and I live my dream life. I could never have pictured life being like this, and that is because I've practiced Stoicism for over a decade. So, the other day, I wrote down all the greatest lessons I learned from Stoicism, not the stuff that you see online all the time, not the stuff that you read from Ryan Holiday, not the stuff that you see on Instagram and on these AI videos, but the things that I personally learned from practicing real Stoicism, so that my books look like that because I read them every single day and actually practice what's in them. So the first thing, ghosts ruin our lives. When I was young, I was obsessed with ghosts, and this was ruining my life. In fact, I couldn't be alone in a room, so what I'd do at night is follow my mum around the house as she did her chores till about 2 a.m, and I'd just fall asleep wherever I fell asleep because I couldn't bear being alone. And I thought I grew out of this obsession, but no, almost all adults are obsessed with the supernatural. What does this look like? You go about your day, you're with your family, you're having all fun, you're having a great day. And then you lay in bed and think of how things could be better, what life could be like, or what life should be like, or what life was like. You compare it to the good old days. All of these things are supernatural. They don't exist. They're a figment of imagination, and they just exist out in the ether as an image. But you compare reality to the supernatural, and it ruins your life. The second lesson, 1 month of practice is equal to 30 years of theory. I learned this the hard way. I was reading this book every single day and making all kinds of notes in this book that you say the book was falling apart. And I was trying to learn all the Stoicism, but ultimately I wasn't really learning anything until I pulled out an exercise from this book and put it into my day. I actually tried the dichotomy of control. I actually tried Memento Mori. I actually tried amor fati, and I put it into a real life situation. And what do you know? In less than a month, I learned more than you would in 10 years. And that is the same with driving, that is the same with practice, that is the same with everything. Number 3, balance is discipline. I remember when I was 18, I was going to the gym every single day without fail, and I never missed a day. And I thought that I was the most disciplined person. And I got up to about 110 kilos for 5 reps on bench press, thinking this was amazing. And then as I got older, my brother taught me to take a big step back. So I started going 4 days a week, training less. And what do you know? I was benching 127.5 kilos for 5 reps. So I was much stronger and I was working less. True discipline isn't going at something 100%. That's called obsession. True discipline is following the script to the best result. So you get a program and you follow that program to the best result. And sometimes if you're injured, you need to take days off to get the best rest to reach the best result. So true discipline is the balance to get the best result. Number 4, reading is easy, but our brains are fried. Short form content today has fried our brains. And I remember when I was younger, I thought I was too stupid to read. I couldn't read these books. But then I was catching a bus like 3 hours every day. And my mum said, hey, why don't you just pass the time by reading? So I started to read and I had no distractions, no phone, no nothing. All I could do was read 3 hours a day. I realized after a few bus journeys that anyone can read. Reading is your friend. It calms the mind, it's meditative, and you learn so much. You think all the answers are out there on the internet, but no, many answers exist in these old books and the way in which they are written out, the form. I'm not a fan of when people say, you can read a book in 1 hour by just skimming over it. No, the author has planned it out in a certain way so the lesson makes more sense. And it's more enjoyable. Number 5, if you want self-respect, do what you respect in others. Self-respect is huge, but we often think, how can I get self-respect? How do I get self-respect? When I was younger, I had no self-respect. I didn't respect myself. I didn't care for myself. I didn't love myself. And I wanted this self-respect. And I looked towards the people that I respect. People like Aragorn, people like Samwise, people like Steve Irwin, people like Fred Rogers. All these people like David Goggins, I respected these people. And I was like, how do I get that? So I started behaving like them. I started acting according to their principles, doing what they do. And before you know it, I started respecting myself because I was a person that I considered worth respecting. Number 6, and this is probably the most important thing I learned in life, is the block of wood, the theory of the block of wood. So old philosophers believe that you're handed this block of wood in life, and that is your life. And many people think this. I certainly thought this when I was going to my job, being illegally underpaid, getting up at 4 a.m., getting home late, working tirelessly. So I had £12 at the end of the day, £12 back in the day. Not worth anything, really. I could buy 12 packs of donuts a day. Anyway, I was hating my life and I thought I was stuck this way forever. I would be this shy, anxious guy that was weak, had no direction and could never get a way out. But I soon learned that we have this block, but we also have the tools to carve this block. This block is so malleable, you can become someone unrecognizable, which I have become. To my older self, I'm unrecognizable. I'm happy in life. So you can shape that block you've been handed. Number 7, stop analyzing everything. An event happens in life. This is what I was always doing. An event would happen in life and I would start judging whether it was good or bad. And of course I was negatively wired like most of us. So everything was bad. I was saying how terrible this is, how stuck I am, how this has ruined my life, how this person hates me. I was analyzing everything, making judgments of everything. I was very judgmental, even though I thought I wasn't judgmental and hated all the judgmental people. So you don't have to analyze it. You can just take life as it is and then analyze your actions. Am I going to be good? Am I going to be bad? And of course, Stoics have a scale of what is good or what is bad, and I can teach you about that in another video. It's 11:11, make a wish. Number 8, this is something I've learned recently, is keep that fire burning. You know when you're present in a video, like you're listening to me right now, and you're present, you're like, I'm going to be good, I'm going to be good. I'm focused, I'm attentive, my mind is astute, I know what's going on right now, I can be good, I'm aware of my actions, I'm in control, I'm steering the wheel. That's the fire. You can feel it burning inside. You can feel life, basically. It feels good. It's a nice feeling. I don't know what it is, but it's a good feeling. You can feel it burning. And sometimes it burns crazy bright. Anyway, keep that lit. Make sure if you're going about your day, just go, oh, my fire. Because when you have that fire lit, you can radiate to other people. You know, people like Steve Irwin. Like, you could have a crowd of 100 around him and everyone just ignites. The spark is lit. And I've noticed this, you know. I was walking to work the other day. I think I've told this story recently. Walking to work the other day, and I see, like, I try to do this, always like smile at people, radiate that fire to people. But I remember there was a homeless woman, and she looked empty. She looked really sad, and I thought I'd just like look over her and smile. You know, why not? I try to smile at everyone, and I smiled at her, and her eyes, her face lit up. Like it was beautiful, melted my heart, and it was really nice, and it made my day. And I just think, like, you can pass that little flame on to people, but if you dull that flame, then it doesn't help anyone. So number 9, true kindness is rare. True kindness takes strength. Like I wrote about this in my book, you know, like Ned Flanders, he's seen as a joke, but like he's got true strength to be kind every day. No matter, everyone in life faces the same struggle, but some people choose to help others and lighten their struggle, while others, the weak, they decide to burden others. It takes true strength to be kind. It really does in life, but it's a great thing. It makes you a hero. Number 10, don't pursue greatness, pursue goodness. I learned this from Marcus Aurelius when reading his meditations, you know. I realized that his pursuit was not of that of a great emperor. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome, the last great emperor of Rome. He didn't pursue that. He pursued being a good person. That's all he pursued. This is the most noble of pursuits. He writes about this in his meditations, that vanity is the greatest seducer of reason. When you believe you're doing something great, it ruins your reason, it ruins your goodness. So you see a lot of these billionaires and really successful people that pursue their greatness for this great good. I don't know what it is, they're pursuing it and they think it's going to all be worth it, but they sacrifice their family, they sacrifice their love, they sacrifice loads of things in pursuit of this greatness that ultimately leads them nowhere. So pursue goodness. You can still move towards greatness, but remember, goodness is the pursuit, because if you pursue greatness, you can ruin your character on a pursuit there, but you don't ruin your character on a pursuit of goodness. Number 11, procrastination doesn't equal self-care. I hear this all the time when I used to give more like self-help advice when I was making motivational videos and stuff, and people would always say like, oh, you can't just work harder, you need to look after yourself, you need to care for yourself. It's okay to scroll TikTok sometimes for a few hours. You can't shame people for scrolling TikTok. You can. This is not self-love. In certain circumstances, it's okay. But you scrolling TikTok for 6 hours a day is not self-love. That is not self-care. If you say, oh, I'm burnt out, I need to look after myself, scrolling TikTok is not that. The way you actually look after yourself, the way you care for yourself, the way you love yourself is treat yourself like someone you love. So you have a daughter, you love your daughter, and she's struggling in life. And then she goes, I'm just going to scroll TikTok 5 hours a day and do nothing. You won't go, oh yeah, that's brilliant. You would give them the tough love they need. You need to get outside. You need to talk to someone. You need to open up. You need to do exercise. You need to stop acting on these bad habits. Whatever it is, that's true self-love. You need to give yourself that love. Number 12, brakes make the car go fast. I learned this one from Dr. Michael Segro. Brakes make the car go fast. Knowing when to hold back. Having the discipline not only to go forward, but having the discipline to stay still is a great gift. Number 13, enjoy life your way. This is something that was really hard for me. I was always trying to live as an image. I was always trying to be good and live how people wanted me to live, how I seen that good people live, and how I seen that people I looked up to in life, how they lived. And this led to me being miserable, but appearing happy, I was doing all the things that seemed like a happy person would do. But then, it was like recently after having my daughter, I became silly, became like a goofball, just messing about, dancing in the room at night, singing stupid songs, whatever it is, laying in the grass, enjoying the sun, that kind of thing. And before I'd be like, oh, what if someone sees me doing this? I look like an idiot. I just enjoyed it. You need to find what you enjoy, however you want to enjoy it. If you want to swim in a lake, if you want to scribble on a piece of paper, it doesn't have to result in anything. It doesn't have to be good. Just do it your way. Number 14, you're always watching yourself. When you're alone and you're acting on bad habits or you're cutting corners and you think, oh, it's all right, no one's watching me, it's fine. The most important person in your life is watching you. You're watching you, and you're always watching you, and you're always keeping score. The same way, if you look at someone and you always see that they cut corners and always do bad things, you'll start to judge them. You start to create an image of who they are, and you'll be like, I don't really like that person. They're lazy. They're untrustworthy. You do that to yourself whether you know it, and you want to build a good repertoire with yourself. You want to start to like yourself. Number 15, get out of the mud. We know that analogy of the tractor or the trailer that keeps going through the mud and it carves a path for itself. This is what you're doing. I remember when I used to go from work when I hated life, and I was always talking negatively, like saying how stuck I am, I can never get out, I'm too anxious, I'm too shy to actually do anything. I'm just carving that path deeper and deeper. So I actively said, I'm going to get out of the mud. And I'll be walking home going, I'm a person that works hard and I will get to where I'm going. I will eventually get there. I'm a person who doesn't give up and I try hard and I try to be good. And eventually, I start to carve out of that mud. And before you know it, I'm on a different path. It's a good path. Getting out of that mud is hard, but it is worth it. Number 16, it's okay not to be you. This is something that took me so long to learn. I believe my whole life I was William, this nice, polite person that never really stood out, never really did anything different. I always followed the rules, that kind of thing. And I thought this was me. And anytime I was with someone, I'd behave this way. But you know what? One time I was traveling the world, I got left on my own for 3 weeks and I became a different person. I became confident. I became an organizer. I set things up. I set up events. I was like the life of the party or whatever. And then that time passes, I go back into being me. And I always wondered, what was that? Why was I a different person? I slowly realized because we base ourselves off of what our history is. So I'll act a certain way right now because my sister's over there doing some work. I'll be like, I've got to behave a certain way. I can't swear. I don't do this because I'm this way to her. And we have that way to myself. I have that way of other people when we behave that way. You're anyone you want to be. You're just a human like everyone else. And you can choose to be something else. You can choose to be a different way one week, choose to be a different way the other week. If you're normally really serious, you can start to be really silly. If you're really silly, you can start to be really serious. Then you start to learn that it's all flexible. You can just do what you want. Just be a good person. Nothing can make you bad. This is number 17. Nothing can make you bad. Only you can choose to do that. Viktor Frankl says it's the last of the human freedoms. When he was in the concentration camps, he wrote this. When it's the last of the human freedoms, everything can be taken from man except for one thing. The ability to choose how to be. And you always have that. The Stoics called it the space, you have that space to choose. You always have that space. Epictetus talks about it like when they're going to chop off his head. He says so who says I couldn't have my head chopped off? But still, you can't make me be who I don't want to be. So number 18, hardships are opportunities. This is something I learned quite young in life, and I love it. When I'm going for a hardship, I've had it so many times. I'm going for a difficult situation, and I just think this is going to be great. I'm going to learn something good from this. It's like, everyone always says you pray to God for strength, God gave you a challenge. You pray for God for patience, God gave you annoying people, that kind of thing. But it's true. Whatever you believe in, it's true. And when I'm going through hard times, I just remember this, I'm going to grow so much from this. I'm going to learn so much from this. It's an opportunity. Number 19, courage exists for a reason. We talk about courage. I've always taught of courage, it's one of the 4 virtues, but I never really truly understood it. And I used to think I was courageous by doing difficult things, by doing brave things. But no, true courage is when every part of you doesn't want to do that thing, but it's the right thing. And a lot of this was based on another rule of being me. So I never stepped out of that character, but it took courage to actually live authentically. Courage is there. It's hard to use sometimes, but that's what makes it so great. If you're not scared, you can't have courage. Number 20, you don't have to climb Mount Everest, but you can. What I mean by this is everyone's got this destination addiction of getting to the peak of the mountain, and they're like, I'll be happy when I get to the peak of the mountain. You won't. If you're not happy with what you got, you won't be happy with what you get. But that's not to say that you can't climb the mountain. You just have to enjoy every step. So you're happy at the base of the mountain, you're happy halfway up the mountain, you're happy struggling up the mountain, and you'll be happy with the view. If you can just appreciate what you have, then when you get to the view, you'll appreciate that all the more. Number 21, review your character. The Stoics talk about this all the time, but I never put this into practice till recently. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus write about it in their books. It's at the end of the day, just review yourself, how you acted. And I'll tell you something I learned recently, actually. I've been playing chess with my brother Luke, and I've been trying to beat him. Never beat him. He's much better than me. And I'm not really improving. And he said to me, he's like, well, just review the game afterwards. Stop just playing and playing and playing, because that's what I was doing, just doing puzzles. Review it afterwards. See where you made mistakes, see where you did good, and you'll improve massively. And this is so true. And this is the same with character. At the end of the day, assess whether you acted in accordance with virtue, assess if you followed these Stoic principles, assess if you was a good person, that kind of thing. See what mistakes you made, and you'll improve massively. You don't really make progress if you don't pay attention to progress. Number 22, don't be quick to judge. We excuse our own flaws but criticize others. So when someone cuts us off in traffic, we say they're an idiot, they're foolish, I hate them. But when we cut someone else off in traffic, we have an excuse, we have a reason, we have a story to tell ourselves. And this is just the case in life. But don't be so quick to judge. They might have the greatest excuse in the world. They might be rushing off to save a life. And this is the same in everything. Number 23, if you're on the wrong path, just stop. Changing direction isn't failure. It takes strength, but it takes a lot of courage to realize, yeah, you've put 12 years into this thing, but it wasn't the right path for you. Staying stuck on the wrong path will make you miserable. It takes courage to get off the path. But in that 13th year, you got to the right path. So none of that over 12 years was a waste. It got you to where you needed to go. Number 24, everything is borrowed. Everything you have, everything you're doing, it's all borrowed from the universe, from God, and you have to give it back at some point. Just know this, because if you're holding on to your prized possession, your prized trophy, or your car and it gets damaged, it'll upset you. Just know it is yours for now. Use it to the best of your ability, but one day the universe will take it back because it's borrowed. Don't let it upset you. Let go without resistance. Number 25, we all suffer. We all suffer. The Buddhists understood this, that suffering is a fact of life. This is something that's like helped me so much in life. It's like when I'm struggling, I'm like, everyone, it's universal. Everyone goes through pain, but you suffer more pain when you try to avoid it. So accept it, it happens, but don't try to pass it off to others. Don't make other people's lives. Just go through it and learn what you can from it, because it's going to happen regardless. Number 26, change your mood by changing your actions. I learned this from Amy Moran. She's really great. She's a great author, actually, of 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. Really great book. But I remember I was talking to her and she said, it sounds very silly, but this really helped me, is like, said, when you're in a bad mood, what you do is like, I just behave in a bad mood, find ways to be in more of a bad mood, try to justify why I'm in a bad mood. Says, what do you do when you're in a good mood? I was like, I don't know, I tried to be in a good mood. She's like, what do you really do? I was like, I listen to certain songs, I do this, I dance around, I make food, I do this kind of thing. That's what I do when I'm in a good mood. She said, well, next time you're in a bad mood, have this list of things you do in a good mood and just do them. So I try it. And it sounds silly, I'm in a bad mood. And it's hard to notice when you're in a bad mood. But I noticed it and I go, you know what? I'm going to listen to Mac Miller, Best Day Ever. I love that song. It gets me in a good mood. So I put on Best Day Ever, and at the start, for the first minute, it feels a bit fake. And then suddenly, I'm getting into the song, and my mood has switched. You need to notice when you're in a bad mood and just switch it by doing something that you do when you're in a good mood. It really does work. And I know your ego wants to stay in that bad mood, but it's not what is best for you. Number 27, being bad is lazy. Being a bad person is lazy. Giving into those bad impulses is lazy. Taking shortcuts is lazy. Stealing from others is lazy. Not earning your reward, it's all lazy. Don't be lazy. You don't want to be a lazy person. Take the harder path. Humans normally follow the path of least resistance, but you don't want to always follow that. Number 28, aim to be good. It's a simple goal in life. It's something that really helps me when I'm like, what do? I don't know what to do. Just aim to be good. Follow the virtues, courage, wisdom, temperance, justice. Just think, is it the actions I'm going to do, is it going to follow the virtues? Is it going to help someone? Is it going to make someone's day? That's all you need to care about. If you don't know what to do, just be good. I remember something I used to do. I used to always be so sad. I was such a sad individual, so mardy. But something I used to do is go on Reddit and go on Humans Being Bros or Made Me Smile, the subreddits, and I'd just scroll through. And eventually I was like, people are so nice sometimes. And it would lift my spirits and I'd be like, I can do that. I can do something. What can I do? I can smile at someone. I can give a homeless person money. I can pick up some litter. Easy little things. Yeah. Number 29. To be the man, you got to be the man. I remember I had this motivational video download. I think it was Shannon Briggs, and he was talking about someone. He says, when he was running, he said, to be the man, you got to be the man. To be the man, you got to be the man. And I always thought, like, what does that mean? Anyway, I started running, and I thought, if I want to be the guy that runs, I've got to be the guy that runs. And so this is where it comes. I always wanted to be the good, like, hero type figure, the person that actually helps people. You know, when a homeless person needs money, I could give it them, or when someone needs help getting off the bus, I can do that. And I always wanted to be that person, but I never was that person. But thinking about this idea to be the man, you got to be the man. If you want to be that person, you just have to do that thing. If you want to be the person that gives money to homeless people, you have to do it. If you want to be the person that helps a woman get off a trolley, a pram off the bus, then you have to do it. And it takes a lot of courage to step out and be the man or be the woman. But to be the man, you got to be the man, and you just have to do it. Stop waiting for something to happen. Stop waiting for a miracle. It will never happen. Life takes action sometimes. It takes you standing up and getting out of your comfort zone. Number 13, this is very important, reps. You need to do reps. You need to, when you want to improve, you read one of these things and go, oh, this is what dichotomy of control is. You have to actually put it in practice every single day. Epictetus talks about, not getting nervous, playing in front of a crowd, not getting nervous. And he teaches you how not to get nervous. But you do it once, you'll probably still be nervous. You do it twice, you'll probably still be nervous. You do it 100 times, you'll get over those nerves. I remember I was always hated getting on camera. I hated it. Like, it made me so anxious, the idea of filming, but I wanted to do it. So I just started doing reps, filming multiple times a day, pulling out my phone, filming stories in public, anything. Felt very awkward. Now I love it. Now there's zero nerves. I love getting in front of the camera and just talking. This is great. Number 31, submit. I learned this from Alan Watts, I believe. It takes true strength to submit, to let life pass through you. We're all holding up defenses in life, not allowing certain things to happen. You see this a lot with like the alpha males. They don't show any emotion. They don't show any sign of weakness because they're scared to break. They're scared to have life flow through them. They're scared to fully experience life because it's a lot. But it's also beautiful. And also, if you can truly be authentic and let life flow through you, then you can truly become the person you're meant to be, which is the privilege of a lifetime, according to Carl Jung. Number 32, enjoy life as it is. Enjoy the boring moments. This will be so massive in making you helping you live a good life, is enjoy all the boring moments. And I'm talking about right now, listening to me. Hey, I didn't say I was boring, but this is just like normal life. It's not like most exciting. If you can just enjoy this as it is, the air around you, the sun, the no sun, the clouds, the rain, the people, the atmosphere, everything. If you can just enjoy it, because it's beautiful to see the beauty in ordinary, but it's ordinary to see the beauty in the beauty. So if you can just see the beauty in just all ordinary things. I was speaking to Hainem Sunim, who's a monk, and he said, it talks about small but certain happinesses. This will lead to a better life. It's like the mountaintop again. People only experience happiness at the mountaintop, go, this is life. And then they go down the mountaintop, start crying. But you can sit at the bottom of the mountaintop and go, this is life. You can enjoy all of it. Number 33, less is more. Everyone's constantly striving for more, trying to achieve more, get more things. But all that does is you end up with more clutter. Strip away at all this, as Bruce Lee said, strip away at the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. Remove all these distractions, less screen time, less apps, less things to do, less goals. And you start to see how quiet life is and you can focus on what is truly important. Number 34, a little good goes a long way. I'm talking about if you don't know what to do, pick up a piece of litter, smile at someone, let someone off the bus, say good morning to the shopkeeper, anything. A little good goes a long way. Honestly, I've had something that changed my life. Something that changed my life was, I wrote about this in my book. I was so depressed, so miserable when I was building, and I was falling asleep at a bus stop, stood up actually, and a bin man jumps off the bin truck and wakes me up and hands me a book. He hands me a book and he says, I always see you reading and I've seen this at one of my jobs, thought you might like it. That act of kindness right there changed my life, literally got me out of not out of the depression, but it got me out of this negative cycle, because I realized there's some good in this world and it's worth fighting for. Tolkien. I realized that I was like, there's some good in this world. This guy has gone about his day and thought about me. How amazing, because I thought the world was against me. A little good goes a long way. Trust me. Empathy is massively important. The Stoics do this exercise and they had this belief, but I'll tell you the exercise. In the morning, just remind yourself of everyone, the nature of the universe, that we're all interconnected in this big cosmic society, and to do good for yourself, to do good for others, is to do good for the society. Everyone as a human is deserved of love. Yes, people make mistakes. Yes, you don't understand certain people, but everyone deserves love. Remember, I do this every time I'm holding my daughter. I think like every person that exists today was a baby that needed love, and maybe they didn't get it, and maybe that's why they ended up the way they are. Everyone deserves empathy in some parts of life. Number 36. Your life is too precious to waste. It really is. It's a gift. Stoics say Momento. You might only have this one life. Who knows? That's what I think anyway. You only have this one life. Every second. It annoys me when I say, people go YOLO and then they just waste the rest of the day. They do, like they jump off into some water off a diving board. They go YOLO and then they waste the rest of the day. It's like YOLO means you only have this moment right now. That's all you have. You could die tomorrow, whatever it is. You have to appreciate the now, because all life consists of is the now. So always appreciate the now. You'll always appreciate life. Always love the now. You always love life. Stop scrolling 6 hours a day. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I don't mean to like make people feel bad, and there's nothing wrong with going on your phone, but scrolling TikTok 6 hours a day, unless that really makes you happy, only you can assess that. If that really makes you happy, you do it. But if you're thinking that there could be more to what you're doing, you could appreciate life more, you can just sit there and do nothing. I prefer that. It's good to be bored sometimes. It's a gift sometimes. Number 37, small steps daily go great distance. I remember okay, let me think about this. I told you earlier I was really dedicated to the gym, but then I had my daughter and my priorities changed, didn't really care about the gym, stopped working out. And then I kind of thought I don't have time to work out. How am I going to do the 2-hour workouts I was doing back in the day? How am I going to do all this when I've got a daughter? It doesn't make sense. And I remember my own teaching, small steps daily go great distance. So I started just doing press-ups at home. And then if I go on a park, walk to the park with my dog, I do some pull-ups on the pull-up bars. And I just kept this up consistently towards a goal. I kept it in line with the goal I was working towards. And now I'm doing full calisthenics workouts. I'm in good shape and working towards even better goals. If you just start now with what you have, then eventually when you're ready to start, you'll already made loads of progress. If you just keep putting off until you start the gym, then when you get to the gym, you'll be a beginner. Just start doing press-ups or walking, whatever it is. And then in 6 months' time, when you do start gym, when you finally build up the courage, or when you finally have the money or the time or the situation in life, then you'll be better prepared. So 38, don't take life too seriously. I learned this from Mike Tyson. Life is just a joke, and he took it so serious. And it's true, life is just a bit of fun. It's like a ride at an amusement park. There's ups and downs and rounds, and there's thrills and spills, and it's fun. But then it ends. That was Bill, the comedian. I forgot his name. Very sorry, I forgot his name. He passed away. Yeah, life is just a ride. It's just a bit of fun. Stop taking it so seriously. When something happens, you don't have to get involved and get all serious and uptight and start complaining and start getting angry and mad. You can just enjoy life. It's a bit of fun sometimes. Number 39, be present. The present is all exist. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. All we have is right now, you listening to me. And that will save you a world of trouble. Believe me. Just try, be present. And you're like, how do I be present? I learned this from Eckhart Tolle. Number one, when you remember you're not present, that's when you become present. Number two, he says it's like there's a mouse hole and you're waiting for the mouse to come out and you're waiting with precision. That's a thought. The mouse is the thought, and you're waiting for a thought to enter your mind, like a sniper waiting. And if you just sit there and go, what will my next thought be? And you wait there and wait for that thought to come, your mind will be still for a while. And it's a good exercise. You can keep doing it every so often. You get good at it. Number 40, do not catastrophize. The Stoics talk about this as like in life, we catastrophize, we make events more serious than they need to be. And I used to always do this when I was walking home, like I said. I'd say how awful my life is, how stuck I am, how anxious and weak I am. These were just all stories I was telling myself. Life is not a story, life just is. Just take life as it is. Stop adding to it. The Stoics actually have a way of breaking things down when something happens. Marcus Aurelius talks about these purple robes. All the rich people at the time were wearing purple because it was so fancy and expensive. And he was like, because people get stressed, I want to be in purple, I want to wear Prada, I want to wear Gucci, I want to wear Louis Vuitton. But then you break it down. He broke it down. It's just the dried blood, the dried, crushed up remains of a Murex sea snail. That's all it is. These rich people think they're great, just wearing a dead snail. And that's the same with Prada and all that. We're recently seeing that most of it's made in China and it's made in cheap factories where it's just the same as any other t-shirt you wear. It's like, that's all it is. And it's good marketing to make rich people spend money. That's all it is. So you don't have to buy into all these things because you don't have to make a big grand story of it, and you don't have to catastrophize. If an event happens to you in life, you don't have to stop panicking saying how awful it is. Just see it as it is. That's a great thing the Stoics teach. Number 41, the opinions of others do not matter. People might judge you. It really doesn't matter. A lot of people are worried about going to the gym because people might judge them that they're a beginner or they're not in shape. Some people actually go to the gym. Like, most of them aren't judging you. Most of them are just worried about themselves. That's a fact. 95% of people are worried about themselves. But then there probably is a 5%. They go to the gym just to judge others. Like, if you really care about that person that does that with their time, Don't worry about them. You're letting them dictate your life. A person that pays for gym membership to go to the gym to judge you, that person's not worth listening to. If you want to take advice from them, don't take criticism from them. Number 42, comparison is the thief of joy. I was doing this like on social media, seeing how happy people were, and it was making me miserable. But then I was also comparing myself to movies, how life could be. I remember I watched, what's the film? Stand By Me. And I was like, this is true friendship. My friendship isn't true. I ruined my friendship, my idea of my friendship, because I watched a film. It's a good film. And I was like, this is what true friendship is. These are just ideas. I'm comparing reality to an idea. I'm comparing reality to... Comparing to others is just an idea of how you see their life. You're not in their head. Number 43. Everything is a lesson. Everything in life is a lesson. Good or bad, it's all just a lesson. Remember to take in a lesson. Don't just let life happen to you. Take in a lesson. Learn something from it. That's where you become wise and courageous. And that's these people who are like, whoa, got the wrinkles there, to show their wisdom and lessons. Each wrinkle is a lesson, or something like that. Number 44, stop chasing happiness. I remember when I turned like 16 or whatever, I was like, oh, I understand life. Most people probably go like this. I understand life. It's not about money or success or fame. It's about happiness. Just chase happiness. This is the secret to success in life. That's not true. Chasing happiness won't lead to happiness. It would lead to you becoming a person that is always chasing happiness. Just be in life. I don't know what that looks like, but just be. Experience life. Do the things. Don't expect happiness from it. Don't expect success from it. Just do the thing. Do what you want to do and be. And feelings might follow. Who knows? Number 45. Do the work. Stop. Right now, you're watching this video, you listen to some of this advice, some of it might resonate with you. You might be like, oh, that's really good advice. And that's it. You might even write it down or make a note of it or timestamp or leave a comment. Do leave a comment if you want of your favorite bit of advice. But actually do the thing. This is something that helped me so much in life. I was taking so much Stoic advice from these books, writing down all the quotes. I mean, you've seen this book. You've probably seen this book enough times. It looks like a mess because I've read it so many times and wrote down so many things. But the day I started actually acting on these things is the day I grew. Number 46, everyone can be a Stoic. Yes, it's true. Everyone can be Stoic. Good, bad, woman, man, young, old, rich, not rich. Everyone can be Stoic. And we've seen this throughout history with so many Stoics. And you can be Stoic right now. All it takes is for you to try follow Stoicism, know what is good or bad. Good and bad are only things that you can control. So everything external is not good or bad. It's just indifferent. What is good? Your character, virtue, wisdom, courage, temperance, justice. Just try follow that. That's all you need to follow. And you can learn the rest as you go along. But everyone can be Stoic. It's a fact. It's a fact. I don't want you hearing like, no, this person can't be Stoic. Leave a comment. Try to prove me wrong. Who can't be Stoic? Number 47. Most of life isn't in your control. 99% of life is just external. It's not in your control. So don't waste your energy and efforts trying to control these things. The weather is not in your control. It's really not. If the team loses or wins, the celebrity gossip, politics, none of that is in your control. It's just happening and happening and happening. The cycle of the world just going on. You don't control this thing. You just control how you respond to it. How do you respond to it? Respond with good action. And that will lead to you being a better person. Number 48, don't delay. Don't delay. Procrastination creates more problems. You see, you're putting off something for the future. Yes, you're putting off tidying your room for the future. But what happens when you get to the future, your room will be messier and you'll be a person that is more inclined to put things off. So you become a lazier person. Putting things off is just punishing your future self. Reward your future self. Do something helpful. Do the thing right now so in the future you have less to worry about. Number 49. You can dance in the rain or sulk in the rain. It will rain regardless. It's going to rain. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. But bad things are going to happen every single day. And you can cry about it or you can just love it. You can just have it for what it is and learn something from it. It's like if it's raining, you can cry about it. You can go, oh, my plans are ruined. Or you can dance in the rain. What do I mean by dance in the rain? The rain's brilliant. You can sit on some grass, hear the rain hitting the ground. You can sit by a window reading a book, appreciate the rain, whatever it is. That's the same with everything in life. Number 50, be the good you wish to see in this world. I remember my first instance of this. I only just heard about the bystander effect. I was in Australia in King's Cross. I was at King's Cross, and I was in a shop and a shopping centre, and there was loads of people just walking past a woman that was face down on the floor, and everyone was just walking past her. And I had just heard about the bystander effect recently, and I was like, well, she must be okay because no one's helping her. She must be okay. Someone's probably asked. But then I thought, you know what, bystander effect. I want to be the good that people wish to see in this world, that I wish to see in this world. Let's just be good. Go up to her, be the hero. Went up to her, helped her, and I was like, how did no one? People have been walking past her for ages, no one helped her. It's because everyone just assumes someone else is doing good. Be the good you wish to see in this world. Do it right now. 51. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you're weak. You're going to have days where you feel like giving up. You're going to have days where you're a bit angry or rude or anything. These are just days in our life. Just remember these days. Take note of these days, how you behave in these days, so you can try to limit these sort of behaviors for the future. Try to learn from this thing. But it's okay not to be okay. No one is a stone. No one is a true superhero. No one is a stoic sage, as they say. No one has ever lived to be a stoic sage. People say, oh, maybe Socrates was a sage. No one was a sage. Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Musonius Rufus, all these people, they studied Stoicism their whole life, they practiced Stoicism, they still made so many mistakes. They still wept for the sorrows, and they still grieved, they still had bad days, they still made mistakes. All these kind of things. You're no different. Number 52. You deserve love. You do deserve love. And if you didn't receive love, if you haven't received love in your life, it's not because you're unlovable. It's because the people that were supposed to love you made a mistake, or they were wrong, or they were bad. Just because you didn't receive love doesn't mean you're not unlovable. Just because you're not receiving love now doesn't mean you're not unlovable. And I think it's really important to remember this. It's something I've struggled with a lot of my life. It's just to love yourself. I think it's one of the most important things in life is just to love yourself. Actually care about yourself. Understand you're a person worth caring for. Because we often put off ourselves and we help others, we care about others, we do things for others, but we just neglect ourselves thinking we're not worthy. But the thing is, even as a selfless thing, you might think it's selfish to love yourself, care for yourself rather than as a selfless thing, you become the best person you can be for the loved ones around you, for the world around you. Number 53, if you can't love the now, you won't love the then. What does this mean? I remember listening to Claire Wineland, really inspiring girl, and she said, if you're not happy with what you got, you won't be happy with what you get. She was very ill. Sadly, she passed away. She was very ill, and she was always wanting good health. She was always like, I'll be happy. I'll start living when I've got good health, because she was told she won't live that long. But then somewhere along the line, she just says what if I never get better? Then I'm just never going to appreciate life. So she says, right, I'm going to enjoy what I have right now. Even in ill health, I'll enjoy it. And that's true. If you can't enjoy the now, if you can't appreciate the now, you'll just get to the future and have that same mindset. So even if you're like, I'll be happy when I get that job, I'll be happy when I win the lottery, I'll be happy when I get married, I'll be happy when I graduate, you just get to that place and you'll be that same person. It'll be like, oh, well, I'll be happy when I get pay rise, I'll be happy when I win the lottery again, I'll be happy when I get remarried. If you're not happy with what you get, you won't be happy with what you If you're not happy with what you got, you won't be happy with what you get. Number 54, amor fati. This is something you hear most in Stoicism, but what does it mean? It means to love your fate regardless of what happens. And the Stoics believe that the universe or God or whatever you believe in handed you this thing, has designed life for you in the best way possible, and you have to love it for whatever has been handed to you. Why? Because you can't change what has been handed to you. You can't change the past, you can't change the external. You've got it, love it for what it is, and let go without resentment. Number 55, Memento Mori. This is something that changed my life so much. Just remembering your mortal. The Stoics used to say Memento Mori. They keep a reminder of their own mortality, and this will help them appreciate life. I used to get over my anxiety for this. When I was nervous to do something, I would just say Memento Mori, and I'd be like, I could die tomorrow without ever truly doing this thing. And now I just love life. I remember recently, well, it was about a year ago now, I was on holiday, and I woke up one night, woke up at like 5 a.m, and I had the strongest sense of death. Like, it was horrible, and I was crying straight away. I haven't had anything like this since I was a kid. It was very strange, very profound. I couldn't stop it. Just tears started rolling down my eyes, and I was like, oh my God, I could die. I could die any moment. And I think it's because, I just had my daughter. I was loving life. I was like, whoa. But like a minute after, I was like, whoa, life's so incredible, like that I don't want to let go of it. But I have to let go of it at some point. But it's so amazing that it's brought me to tears. So yeah, you are mortal. Remember that. And number 56, don't get sucked into the BS. You don't have to get involved in these things. The drama, the gossip, any of that. You really don't. That's not your life. That's just people trying to get you involved in that. Doesn't matter. Don't get sucked into the BS. Just have a wonderful day. And thank you for listening. That was 56 lessons I've learned from Stoicism. I'm going to do another one of these on how to practice Stoicism. 50 lessons I learned to learn Stoicism. So let's say like what books to read, what to follow, what's this. I think it might help some of you get involved in Stoicism better. But thank you for listening, and thank you for people that are leaving reviews on my book, The Everyday Stoic. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.